neighbor and tell your neighbor. Say, neighbor, I'd rather fight than switch. Oh, look at somebody else. Look at somebody else. You might not understand it, but I'm going to explain it. Just trust me on this one. Look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, I'd rather fight than switch. You may be seated. We see that the nation of Israel had fallen into sin. When they fell into sin, God suffered their enemies to conquer them. And they were carried away into Babylon. And the Babylonians, they were conquered by the Medes. And the Medes were conquered by the Persians. 300 years had gone by and the city of Jerusalem had laid waste. And how many of you know when something sits, it depreciates? You could buy a brand new car, drive it up to, and park it in your parking space and leave it there for 5 years. And then crank that car up. How many know you'll mess that car all up? The oil settles.
Yes, sir.
The seals start getting hard. Why? Because the car was made to run, not to sit still. The tires, you know tires will just dry rot?
That's right.
Brand new tires, if you just leave them.
That's right.
That's what, before I get any tires, I said I want to see them. And I look at them. And right inside there, it tells the year and the date they were made. This guy tried to sell me some tires that was 8 years old. I said, no. I said, I want some newer tires than this. And I told him they were 8 years old. He said, how you know? I said, look. I said, you know that each one of them tires, I said, now you work in the business. And if I know that, I know you know it.
That's right.
He didn't throw the tire away, he put it back for the next one. We didn't have enough sense to look up in there and see when the tire was made. And just like the things man made was not made to sit still, was made to be used, how many know you were made the same way? Amen. If you just sat still every day, didn't move, didn't get up and walk, how many know you would die? Because you were made to move. You don't have to move fast, but how many know you got to move? Do something. And so for 300 years, Israel had been captive and taken away, and Jerusalem laid waste. It was just a few people that was able to run in the desert when the Babylonians came in. And they tried to come back and live in Jerusalem. But it was just such a small amount of them that they were killed off. And the city lay in ruins.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Nehemiah, who was the cupbearer for the king. Now, how many know the cupbearer for the king is the most trusted position? Why? Because before the king drinks any drink, the cupbearer drinks it first.
That's right.
So if it's poison, cupbearer die. And the cupbearer had to be the most trusted man in the kingdom, because if he's not, the cupbearer can put a little something in there after he gives it to the king. After he can sift it and put a little something in there and give it to the king.
That's right.
So the king trusts the cupbearer. And many times, the cupbearer became the unofficial counselor to the king.
That's right.
He is the man that he trusted the most. And so the word got back to Nehemiah that Jerusalem was in ruins. And the little people that was there, they had been ran off. All the gates were destroyed. And Nehemiah wept. And he came and served the king. He tried to hold his grief in, but how do you know when you know somebody, you know something is not right, when something is wrong with them? It's a terrible thing when you marry to somebody and that person that you married to is depressed and you don't even know it. I think that says something about you. And when you ask them, even when they tell you, no, I'm all right, you still know something is wrong. Sometimes when my wife is dealing with something, and she said, I'm all right, I said, I didn't ask you, was you all right? I asked you what's wrong. Because I can tell when something's not right and something is bothering her. And the king immediately picked up, and Nehemiah knew that being depressed in front of the king, amen, was grounds to get your head cut off. He told the king, no, I'm all right. And the king said, look, I want to know what's wrong with you. He gave him an order. And Nehemiah told him that his city was in ruins. And I like the king's answer. He said, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? Come up with a plan on how to fix this. Preacher, what are you trying to say? When something in your life is not going like you want it to go, how many know God's not going to swoop in and fix it for you?
Yes, sir.
I hear God asking this morning, what you going to do about it?
Amen.
You don't like the way your life's going, what you going to do about it? The old folks had a song in the church that said, if you make one step, God will make what? Two. But the converse of that song means if you don't make no steps, how many steps is God going to make?
Zero.
He's going to make it. Because you have to be the progenitor. You have to be the initiator.
Yes, sir.
And crying about your situation is not going to help it.
Amen.
The king did not want to hear tears. The king did not want to hear about a sad song. The king asked him, what are you going to do about it?
Yes, sir.
And Nehemiah said, give me till tomorrow. And Nehemiah, he conspired and got with the experts and found out what needed to be done and what it would take to fix it. And that next day when he came back to the king, he told the king what he needed. The king said, get it. Here's my seal. Get what you need. But you have got to get the people that's going to do the labor. You got to come up with the schematics. You got to come up with the plan. You got to come up with the whole process. I'm leaving it here. I'm giving you the seal. You take it. Get all the material you need. But I'm not going to tell you how to do it. I'm leaving that up to you. First thing, when he went back and did an assessment, and he looked over, he saw that all the gates was down. And there were places in the walls that some wasn't no higher than a foot. It had been torn down. But he said, the first thing I'm going to fix is the gate. And the first gate he put up was the Dome Gate. You know what the Dome Gate is? They didn't have plumbing like we had today. So they had a place where each family would dump their dung, and way in the early wee hours of the morning, somebody would come by and get the dung and take all the dung out the city. And what happened was those people that had lived there had dung all in the city. And so what he did was got a dung gate, got a pit where they could burn it and get rid of it. And the first thing he did in revamping that city was get all the dung out. How many of you know before the first thing you got to do in your life is get the dung out? If you don't understand what dung is, it's doo-doo. You understand that?
Amen.
I'm not going to say the other word.
Amen.
But how do you know you got to get all that out your life?
Amen.
You sitting there trying to build stuff over doo-doo. Whew.
Amen.
Do you know why he got all the dung out? Because dung brings flies.
Yes, it does.
Can I talk to you young ladies? Don't be wearing no real short dress and then get mad when flies come around.
Amen.
Amen.
That old thug talking to me for.
Come on, sir.
If you got doo-doo, how many no flies gonna come around? Yo, that must be damn, cause jelly don't shake like that.
Yeah.
Flies. Flies. How many know you can be dressed decent and flies come around?
Yes.
Amen.
But they don't stay.
Yes.
They sure don't.
Right on that.
Because as soon as you swat, they leave. But if there's dung, you can swat the fly, it'll go for a little way and come right back. It'll circle around. No, you got to get rid of the dung. Somebody said, if you're not selling nothing, take the sign down.
Amen.
Uh-oh.
Amen.
Act like you're a woman of distinction. Act like you're a woman who has morals.
Yeah. Yeah.
Act like you're a woman who don't want flies around.
That's right.
Amen.
That's right.
Men don't listen to what you say. Men watch what you do.
Amen.
Oh, you better stop your fresh boy.
That's right.
Amen.
To a man, that means try a little harder.
That's right.
You keep trying. I'm giving in. If somebody says something you have to wait, you dress like you're supposed to, you just ignore.
That's right.
I was in the metro station, and this guy said something to this girl. You could tell the way she was dressed. She didn't play. And he said something out of the way. He said, "Yo, B, you so-and-so?" And she looked at him and he said, "Let me tell you something." She said, "I'm not the one. You better go find your little hoochie mama and get out my face."
That's right.
Oh, all right. It's like that. It's like that. He backed up. He left her alone.
That's right. That's good.
She won't smiling. She was letting her know, I don't play that.
That's right.
The only thing she looked at, pointed finger, she said, "I'm not the one."
Not the one.
That stopped that right there. How many of the flag up went on the way? Look in your life and see what's drawing flies. And get it out. And not only did he take the dung out, he burned it. Get rid of it.
Yeah.
Get rid of it. So he built the walls. He built the gate before he built the wall. But that seems like it's backwards. No. Because see, when he built the gates, I mean, and he was able to lock the gates. So anybody coming in that city could not walk through a gate that was locked. They had to climb over the wall. And even though the walls were not up to par, and they still had to climb over it, it still let people know that this place is my place. And if you're climbing over a wall, then that means you coming in here unauthorized.
That's right.
It's one thing when you got the door open in your house, anybody can come in. But it's another thing when you got the door shut and somebody comes through the window. Now, according to the law of Virginia, if somebody walks through your door and you shoot them, you're in trouble. But let them be crawling through the window. window and you shoot them. That's on them. Because a door open means come on in. But when your door is locked, even if your window's open, you have no business climbing in anybody's window. And Nehemiah was letting them know that you are not going to be walking up in this city because this city now belongs to God's people. Now notice, all this time, when the refugees were poor, when they was a laughing stock, nobody messed with them. But as soon as Nehemiah started building and fixing the walls, Sanballat, Tobiah, the Arabs, the Ammonites, they all started gathering around and looking. They didn't say nothing first, they were just looking. And they said, no, we didn't see this before. When they started and they stopped. But when he got the walls all the way around, about half up, the first thing they did was told them, y'all can't do this. Look at these walls. Y'all using old stones to put these walls up. They said that wall is so flimsy that if a fox ran over it, it'll fall off. If it gets walked, it had jokes. But when they got it 3/4 of the way, it won't funny no more. You ever try to do something and people look at you and say, what you trying to do?
Come on, sir.
Who do you think you are?
Amen.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's what's wrong with you now. You think you're all that. When you're doing nothing, how do you know people don't bother you?
Come on, sir.
They talk about you.
That's right.
They don't bother you. But let you start trying to improve yourself.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I seen family members get mad with a sibling because they got a new house.
That's right.
I seen family members get mad at a sibling because they got a nice job. I seen family members get mad at a sibling because they went on a vacation or a cruise. How they get the money? It must be doing something. I don't see how I make the same thing they do and I can't do it. You don't know what they make. They start harassing them. Start talking about them. But they kept on building. They went from ignoring them to joking on them. And when they got 3/4 of the wall built up all the way, the Bible said they were angry. And they said, we want to kill him. But they had enough sense. Nehemiah, he had armed guards who stayed up at night. And they could see him on the wall. But they knew they just couldn't climb over that wall any kind of way. Because there was some resistance there. They also knew that if they messed with Nehemiah, that he was the king of Persia boy. They said they was going to kill him, but they knew better because the king of Persia had his back. Good God Almighty. How do you know the devil is talking to some of y'all making threats, but he know better to even try nothing with you because he know who your father is. Good God Almighty. He know who he is. He just talking junk. He's not going to do nothing. Amen. He's trying to get you to stop. He's trying to get you to get your focus off what you're doing because he knows better to come your way. You see, everybody try to act like the devil's all powerful. Oh, but the book of Job let us know that God got a hedge around each one of us. See, the devil is not trying to come through the hedge. He's trying to get you to come out the hedge.
Amen.
See, once you come out the hedge, he got you. And he'll be woofing and tell you, look, you know what? You keep staying in that hedge, you're going to get stuck. You can't move around in there. Come on out here Amen. You can move around like you want to. Look at everybody out here, and you stuck in that hedge. Yeah, come on out that hedge. Hey, come on, boy, you know you need to come on out that hedge. Amen. But I dare you to tell the devil, I'm not going nowhere. I'm staying in the hedge where God has got me. I'm staying in the arms and the protection of the Lord. Amen. Because if you stay in the hedge, I mean, you know, the devil, before he do anything, he got to ask God permission. Amen. The Bible says that God won't put no more on you than you can bear. But how do you know you can put stuff on yourself that you can't bear? And I hear God saying on this morning, amen, that it's time that you start rebuilding the walls of your life. Don't sit there, amen, and day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, in the same predicament. God said it's not by chance that you're here this morning. Amen. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. Stop looking at your limitations. Stop looking at what you haven't done. Amen. How do you know that day is the first day of the rest of your life? And God said, get up and make a move. Amen. Get up and make a move. If you're not happy, make yourself happy. Amen. Somebody said, if I don't have joy, I'm going to leap for joy. If I don't have what I want to have, I'm going to trust God and ask God for a plan, and I'm going to work that plan. Amen. I refuse to be miserable all my life. I refuse to be feeling sorry all my life. I refuse to have other people that I'm doing stuff for and nobody's doing nothing for me. The devil is a liar. I'm going to start looking out for myself. I'm not going to wait for no man to take me to dinner. I'm going to go by myself and have myself a good time. I'm not waiting for no man to take me to the movies. I'm going to go to the movies myself and have myself a good time. I'm not waiting for no man to take me to a cruise. Amen. And I sacrifice for my kids. Amen. Now my kids are up and grown. They're old enough to take care of themselves. I'm going to say, look, I'm going to be gone a week. Amen. The food in the refrigerator. Mama gone to have herself a good time. Amen. I'm going to get my tan. I'm going to enjoy myself because life is short. Amen. I'm rebuilding the walls of my life. I refuse, amen, to be 50, 60, 70, 80 years old and look back and wish I had done something. I'm going to do it now. I'm going to make a move and rebuild the walls of my life. First thing I'm going to do is get all the mess out of my life. Amen. People stepping on me, that's over with. People using me, that's over with. Me always looking out for everybody else and nobody's looking out for me is over with. The devil is a liar. I am going to be happy. I am going to be blessed. I am going to be happy. I refuse to be depressed all my days. I refuse, amen, to be miserable all my days. I'm going to rebuild the walls of my life. I got to do it brick by brick. I might have to get something old and put it into place. But if you keep on working, amen, Nehemiah was using old bricks. Amen. But the king heard that Nehemiah had some logistical problem. And he told his treasurer, get him some brand new bricks. And while he was putting the old ones up, all of a sudden a whole cartloads of new bricks came up. Amen. And as they started putting up the wall, amen, the only thing that Symbiotic could do is threaten to try to scare them. Oh, you keep on. We gonna mess you up. Amen. But Nehemiah said, I got a king that got my back. And I hear God say, you got a king that got your back. No matter what the devil say, you can't do it. The king says, I can do it. Somebody said, my father's rich in houses and land. He can do it. God saying this morning, I got the wall of my life. I'm almost 60 years old, but I'm going to rebuild the wall of my life. You might be almost 70, but rebuild the walls of your life. You might be almost 80, but rebuild the walls of your life. Hey, hey, hey! I'm blessed. I'm sanctified. God has been good to me. And I'm going to live a happy life. I'm going to live a prosperous life. I'm going to live a glorious life. All things are passed away. All things have been made new. I remember